connection here on off.
Did you see that?
Oh, there we go, I think.
Government at work.
Hello? All right, here we go. Oh, the battery's going to go dead on that one. All right, good afternoon. This is the Collins Amateur Radio Club. Once every, or 4 times a year. So let's start off with some introductions. Now, those that don't understand this, if you're listening to the repeater and you hear some guys call and you say, hey, I want to talk to that dude, but you can't connect the name with the face, well, here we go. Everybody will give their name, Charlie Snodgrass, KC0CD, so you know who you're talking to on the radio.
Christopher Caldwell, the treasurer, KC0YGW.
Bill Caldwell, I'm the secretary, N0LMN.
Dave Morgan, WA9HBC. Larry Black, WA0FBH.
Dave Wilson, K0RN.
Dave?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, Agnes, KB0EHC.
Al, K0HWE. President BE.
All right. And he doesn't have a call yet. But your name is?
Eric France.
Eric?
Yes, sir.
Jared Anderson, KD0ZK.
Al Tupker, WA0JYF. Joe Coel, WB0IFL.
Al Butler, KA0IES.
Mike Enoch, EC0PD.
In the back.
Steve, NA0IA.
Daryl, WA0KHH, and I'll put in a plug right now. I'm the BE manager for the Cedar Valley Club.
Good.
Gary, K0GT.
Vince, N2AIE.
Dave, NM0S.
Tim, KC0DN.
Gary, K0ILU.
I'm Rod, K0DAS.
Steve, NU0P.
Terry, KE0RBX.
Barry, W0IY.
George, NG78.
Paul, WB0RCG.
Larry, K0MTM.
Larry, K9HHK.
John, K9KBB.
I don't have mine yet.
Oh, cool. And your name?
Eva.
Well, glad you came tonight. All right, so the treasury report, he already, there's the number, $6,562. We also support a honorary an award for a SSB DX plaque, and that's about $70 now, $78. So that'll come off of that. So it's been pretty quiet around the stations, and except for one thing we'll get to here momentarily. Okay, this is the ossifers of the club. If you want to volunteer for a station manager, we could certainly use that up at the North Station. Okay, and you want to talk to this?
So a little bit of a surprise this year happened in May. We made the annual trip to Dayton, and I took one of my college mates who just got licensed this past fall to the Air Force Museum for the first time. And we stumbled into the Air Force One display, and you know, those are fairly narrow. If you've never been there before, nowadays they've got plexiglass, so it's real tight, and I'm hunched over because I'm a 6'1" guy. And all of a sudden I heard these older gentlemen behind me going, hey, where's the Collins gear? Where's the Collins gear? Where's the Collins gear? I'm like, well, if you turned around, it'd be right at your eye level. And I point out the 3 sets, and all of a sudden one of them, this guy who's standing to my right, or picture right, said, hey, perchance, do you work for Collins? And I was like, well, yeah, I work for Collins. And I look at him and go, hey, would you perchance work for UTC? And he's like, yeah. And so back at the time of the merger, we got an email to the officers, hey, we're out here in Utah, out here on the Buttes, and we do UTC's ejection seat testing. Here are some really cool videos about what we do for a living, including some very nice footage about launching crash test dummies off of a track on the top of a butte. Well, since that email, there's been a little bit of effort, and the guys out there have actually successfully gotten W7CXX. So if you ever get to hear that on the air, they would love to, at any point, if we were to do another conditioning event from the station, would love to be able to work W0CXX and put us in the log. But it was one of those fun little, hey, Dayton's, there was a kid with him that was like, wow, the past 2 days, like, I don't believe in God, but man, I'm beginning to wonder. I'm like, well, welcome to Dayton, the largest gathering of us nerds around. And well, so it has been quiet around the shack recently, except for maybe this summer. One of the joyous work projects I get to work on for the HF ground and airborne group is a little pet project of Charlie and Tim Snodgrass, which is really bringing back. So if you remember, a couple years back, Tim presented on a study that he was doing for the Navy on what happens post nuclear blast and how HF propagation occurs, and what happens if all of a sudden we go back to some old technology and do some traditional signal combining at our receiver front end. And so this summer I've gotten to mentor 3 interns that I got to help hire on being able to bring that to fruition. And our current limitation, and I'll put this out there, if anyone would want to loan a couple poor interns a really nice sound card, I know a few interns that would really appreciate it. Because our current roadblock is the fact that all of our company computers don't have a good enough sound card. But they're getting ready to do their final presentations while I'm off at Central State. So that's been a blast. And so the major picture of usage was being able to transmit what they've been working on from the East Coast back to Cedar Rapids to be received on the log periodic and be received on the club's antennas. And the Tim's TS440s, along with our current Collins HF wideband ground radios that we've been working on for the past 5 years or so. So as far as the club station stuff goes, that's been the biggest activity that we've had recently, and it's been a hoot. And I'm going to step away.
So there's just a few things that are still need to be worked on there. I will say the 440s you see stacked up there, Tim has modified those so that they are all synchronized. There's no drifting between them. They all use the same phase lock loop, so they stay together. So that doesn't add to the frustration of trying to decide what's caused by the noise. And I have a subscription to remote ham radio, and so we logged in back there, sent the data back there, and received it here. So you could, using different antennas, you can see the phase difference on that.
Where's the transmit site on the East Coast?
There's one in Massachusetts, there's one in Maine, there's one in Haiti, and West Coast. There's one up in Colorado also, but most of them are on the coast.
These are not company-owned assets.
No. I paid the $99 to get it. Now, if you pay $299, you get to access. They're all K3s, and you got stacked, whatever, 6, 8, 10 elements. 3 of them stacked, and the whole tower rotates. Just go to ham radio, remote ham radio, and look at the equipment they have. It's amazing. But for the $300 a year, you can use the 1,500 watt rigs. Of course, it's 59 cents a minute. If you just want to listen, you can get on there for 3 cents a minute. So it's really interesting
And the
option.
And the
Go ahead.
beauty of a company SEP project is it's like an 8-week project. So we sometimes have to ask forgiveness on process to get stuff done. So it's a lot of fun to push the envelope and actually see some interns maybe want to come back and work for us in the future. So it's really good.
So yes, it's fun. Tim will be talking about some of this stuff at the Hamfest. So the 9100 needs to be worked over, not the radio itself, but hooked up to the satellite station and the UHF, VHF terrestrial. The problem with that is it's a very noisy environment sometimes, most of the time. So that's what's going on there. And now we'll pass it to Dave. Did you have PowerPoints or something?
I do.
Oh, well, good. This man will get you hooked up. And one's a recorder for the, all right, and the other's the amplifier for the room. Rub those in your pocket or somewhere.
You can plug the other end into the wall.
Yeah.
Save changes at a time. Let's see it bombing at me.
You save the changes. Why is it taking so long to save the changes? They weren't that big. Couldn't save it. Oh well. Okay, whatever.
I was gonna say it can't be saved.
Oh yeah.
Because in there.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll just ignore that.
Yep.
Unless you want
Downside
to.
of the thing, when you bring it up, it'll bring up another copy. Where you plugged in? Okay. Just go out there and find it.
Go to the Windows thing.